Yes! 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 Ha 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 ha! Pulp Fiction is my favorite movie. It's my favorite movie. Everyone knows this. What I wouldn't give to see this movie in a theater with a packed audience, especially a packed audience who haven't seen it before. You haven't seen it? Well, go watch it. Go now. I don't care if it's not your kind of movie. That's no excuse. Watch it. It's not really a crime story or a drug story, even though it has those elements and it's populated by the kind of unsavory characters who normally star in movies like that. But here, we see a completely different side to them. Hitmen, drug dealers, crooked boxers, mob wives, they're just like you and me. Not many movies did stuff like that before this one. You know who doesn't get enough credit? Roger Avery. Everybody's Tarantino this and Tarantino that. He and Tarantino share story credit. I wish I knew more about his contributions. I wouldn't be surprised if these started out as three completely separate stories in Tarantino and Avery's heads, and they were all, let's put them all together in the same script with the same characters. And while we're at it, let's have it all take place for the same 24-hour period. And while we're at it, let's jumble up the order of events just to see what happens. Of course, did the timeline shuffle with Reservoir Dogs as well, but it's even more engaging here. Chronologically, the story ends with Butch getting out of the dungeon and riding off with his girl. Zed's dead, honey. Zed's dead. But that really isn't as awesome an ending as the one we get, which is Jules doing his big Oscar scene. But I'm trying, Ringo. I'm trying real hard to be the shepherd. There's a lot of stuff that seems completely random at first, but by the end, it all fits. Who doesn't love Christopher Walken's one scene? This completely out of context flashback. This watch belonged to your granddad. 5 long years your old man wore this watch up his ass. And it's like 5 or 6 scenes before the watch even becomes a plot point. And of course there's the opening scene where Tim Roth and Amanda Plummer are going on about robbing liquor stores. And then just as it's heating up, we drop them completely and pick them up again at the end. At the end! Tarantino just loves pulling the rug out from under you. All 3 stories have some bizarre twist that you would never see coming. There may be bad shit that's on the way, but then some other bad shit happens instead. I don't care how jaded you are, how many movies you've seen, there's no way you'd see any of that coming. You don't expect the date with a mob wife to culminate with a catastrophic drug overdose. No other writer would start with the old boxer gets paid to throw the fight but wins instead tale, and somehow wind up in a dungeon with a gimp. More forced sodomy? I am down! And then there's the routine hitman operation that goes fine, until somebody randomly gets plugged in the face. And it's a scramble to clean up the mess. You know, now I see that if I am with 2 hitmen who might kill me, it's actually safer to be in the car with them in broad daylight than it is to be in, say, my apartment, because if I'm in the car and they shoot me, they're going to have to clean it up, and they don't want to do that. So, learn something new every day. When I first saw the scene in the car where Vincent inquires to Marvin about the whole divine intervention thing, I actually had the thought, you shouldn't wave that gun around like that. It might go off and hit somebody. Oh my god! Ah! The stuff in the dungeon is so bizarre. You're like, am I tripping? Am I still watching the movie? Is this some fucked up nightmare with the same characters? What the heck? How the hell are we in a dungeon with a gimp? But then, when Butch, escapes, he gets to the door. And I'm like, oh man. Oh, you're gonna. Oh, I see. Oh man. That's so cool. Everything in this movie is just golden. The script, the dialogue, the actors, the entire cast, just the use of music, the directing, the way it's put together. It is a masterpiece. It's still Tarantino's best movie. He's made some great movies since then, and I'm very happy he didn't spiral into oblivion like M. Night Shyamalan. This is still ranks just for me. This movie is composed entirely of cool. Wasn't the case? I'm particularly fond of the Elvis's gold jacket theory, but it's probably something like the boss's soul or something.